Yes, indeed. Jesus rescued me. The sound there of Sandra Brooks for you on this year Monday morning. It's 6:32, 28 minutes now, going up to the hour of 7 o'clock right here on this station. It is NRP Radio. It's now time for the news. Good morning. This is news on the platform of nrpmediaja.com, our radio platform, Facebook and YouTube at NRP Media JA. It's Monday, June 24, 2024. I am Leon Nash with the NRP Break of the Day Newscast. In the headlines this morning, Shadow Minister for Gender Affairs Denise Daly of the People's National Party says the PNP is deeply disturbed by the recent revelations of a critical shortage of ventilators and inadequate healthcare resources in the public health system. Senator Peter Bunting, PNP caretaker for South Manchester, calls for the immediate resignation of the board of the Southern Regional Health Authority led by Dr. Wayne Chen. The government has unveiled two groundbreaking virtual platforms, Diaspora Registration Portal, Connect Me JA, and the Jamaica Diaspora Engagement Model, JAMDEM, which aims to enhance diaspora engagement and connectivity globally. 46-year-old Nicholas Rose, otherwise called Nick of Duhaney Drive, Kingston 20, charged with attempted murder, 2 counts of arson, and following an incident on Swallowfield Road, Kingston 11 on June 17. And in sports, let's take you there. South Africa through to the T20 World Cup semifinals after a tense 3-wicket win on the Ducksworth-Lewis Stern method over co-hosts West Indies in a winner-takes-all Super 8s matches. The news today comes to you courtesy of NRP Media and NRP Radio. Of course, we broadcast on the platform nrpmediaja.com, and we go by the mantra, reaching you where you are, no boundaries, no limitations.
Celebrating 3 years since our inception, the NRP brand of radio and other social media platforms on NRP Media JA is your newest online platform accessible for the promotion of your church and community activities along with news and sports related information. It's the platform you have been longing for. So call us today at 876-336-9928 or email us at nationalreligiousmediaja@gmail.com.
NRP Media and Radio, reaching you where you are. No boundaries, no limitations.
Now for the news in details. Shadow Minister for Gender Affairs Denise Daly says the party is deeply disturbed by the recent revelations of a critical shortage of ventilators and inadequate healthcare resources in the public health system. In a release, the Gender Affairs spokesman says the party has reached a crisis point and the situation has reached a crisis point, and it is the mothers, newborns, and children who are bearing the brunt of these failures. The latest comment comes against a public spat between the health minister and his opposition spokesman over the number of working ventilators in the system. The minister said despite the PNP's claim, there were more working ventilators in the system greater than any other time in the history of the health sector. Despite this, Ms. Daly is calling for immediate and decisive action to protect the health and lives of the most vulnerable citizens. The PNP says a recent audit by the Ministry of Health and Wellness has uncovered that there are nearly half of the ventilators in the Southeast Regional Health Authority, SARA, are non-functional, meaning that of the 91 ventilators, only 49 are operational, leaving critical gaps in life-saving care. Hospitals like the Maple Hospital in Clarendon, which only has one transport ventilator, has already witnessed tragic outcomes such as the death of a newborn baby unable to access necessary health care. The party says that this is unacceptable and joins the calls from the PNP Health and Wellness spokesman, Dr. Dawes, for comprehensive audit and accountability to access the availability and functionality of ICU and HDU beds, ventilators, and other critical equipment for training and staffing to address the shortage of trained personnel capable of operating ventilators and providing critical care. The PNP says that there needs to be an investment in maternal and neonatal care and also demands targeted strategies to reduce maternal and neonatal mortal rates. Meanwhile, Senator Peter Bunting, the PNP's caretaker for South Manchester, is calling for the immediate resignation of the board of the Southern Regional Health Authority led by Wayne Chen. The call from the PNP senator says comes in light of the alarming increase in maternal mortality rates. The region, the PNP says, has seen maternal deaths skyrocket tenfold from 26 per 100,000 live births in 2017 to an unprecedented 273 per 100,000 by 2022. According to Senator Bunting, this tenfold increase in maternal mortality is not only alarming, but absolutely unacceptable.
We are alarmed at the statistics that's coming out of the Ministry of Health and the general deterioration in service offered to the citizens of Manchester, Clarendon, and St. Elizabeth by the Regional Health Authority and in particular by the Regional Hospital. In 2017, we were the lowest of any region in Jamaica in terms of maternal mortality. That's maternal deaths. By 2022, we are the highest with a tenfold increase, moving from 23 maternal deaths per 100,000 live births to 273, a tenfold increase. This is absolutely alarming, absolutely unacceptable. And if the board, led by Wayne Chen, and the politically appointed members have any sense of decency, any sense of accountability and good governance, they should immediately hand in their resignation. There can only be two reasons. Either they've poorly supervised the facilities and executed the responsibilities that were given to them, or they've not been given the resources. And then they should stop. They should declare that they cannot do a job if they don't have adequate resources, and they should resign. Either way, you cannot keep presiding over this deterioration, rapid deterioration, and the consequences are paid in people's lives.
That was the People's National Party Senator Peter Bunting there speaking to what's taking place at the Mandeville Regional Hospital. Meanwhile, Mr. Bunting says that the Ministry of Health has received more resources than ever before. In addition to its increased share of the national budget, the European Union provided an additional $4 billion to upgrade facilities at several hospitals, including Mandeville Regional Hospital, which should have ensured sufficient ventilators, ICU beds, specialist beds for neonates, and facilities for high-risk pregnancies. He also added that $700 billion of taxpayers' money that has been allocated by the Ministry of Health and Wellness remains unaccounted for due to inadequate record keeping and financial oversight. The government has unveiled two groundbreaking virtual platforms, the Diaspora Registration Portal, Connect Me JA, and the Jamaica Diaspora Engagement Model, JAMDEM, which aims to enhance diaspora engagement and connectivity globally. The innovative platforms were officially launched by Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith, during the 10th Biennial Jamaica Diaspora Conference at the Montego Bay Convention Center in Rose Hall, St. James, on Wednesday, June 19. Connect Me JA is is developed in collaboration with the Inter-American Development Bank, IDB, and is a mobile application designed to map the diaspora and facilitate better communication between Jamaicans and their government. The app, which is currently available on the Google Play Store or Apple App Store, aims to understand the needs of diasporans and how they can contribute to Jamaica. The platform will provide valuable information for Jamaicans living abroad and encourages user participation by offering incentives. It requires people to enter their names, countries, and email addresses in order to be actively engaged. The JamDem platform, on the other hand, was created in partnership with the International Organization for Migration and the Planning Institute of Jamaica and will serve as a secure virtual space that can be accessed through the ministry's website at mfat, that's mfaft.gov.jm, for enhanced connectivity between the government and the diaspora. 46-year-old Nicholas Rose, otherwise called Nick of Duhaney Drive, Kingston 20, has been charged with attempted murder, 2 counts of that attempted murder, and arson following an incident on Swallowfield Road, Kingston 11 on Monday, June 17. Reports from the Hunts Bay Police are that about 6:30 a.m., Rhodes went to the home of a woman who he had a relationship with, and in an effort to rekindle the relationship, when his request was not met, he locked himself inside the house, the woman and her daughter, and set the house on fire. Neighbors reported hearing the woman's cry for help and summoned the police. The occupants of the house were transported to the hospital for treatment. Rhodes was subsequently charged. His court date is being arranged. 28-year-old Kiwamo Williams, otherwise called Kwamo, of Castle Heights, Barbican in Kingston 8, has been charged with breaches of the Firearms Act following an incident along South Camp Road, Kingston, Friday, June 21. He was charged with assault on common law, possession of a prohibited weapon, and unauthorized possession of ammunition. Reports from the Ellison Road Police are that about 12:35 p.m., Williams and another man were at work when a dispute dispute developed, which became physical. During this dispute, Williams pulled a Colt .45 semi-automatic pistol and with a magazine loaded with 2.45 cartridges from his waistband, pointed it at the man and threatened him. A struggle ensued between them both, and the man called out for help. The police were summoned and Williams was arrested and charged. His court date is being finalized. And 47-year-old Courtney Anderson, otherwise called Bobby Brown, a construction worker of Whitehall Tollgate in Clarendon, was charged with wounding with intent following an incident which occurred in his community on Tuesday, June 18. The Maypen police reports that about 8:30 a.m., Anderson had an altercation with a man during which he used a machete to chop the man to the left side of his neck, causing a wound, which bled, and went on to use a stone to further inflict injuries to the man, causing swelling and bruises. A report was made to the police, and Anderson was subsequently arrested and charged. His court date is being finalized. That's news, the local segment of the news right here on NRP Radio, your primary Christian source for news, the sports, and the weather on nrpmediaja.com, reaching you where you are, no boundaries, no limitations. We're going to be moving now to items of sports brought to you by Four Seasons Sports and Equipment. Four Seasons Sports Closet and Equipment. They are over there in Mandeville in Manchester, Jamaica. Let's go on over and hear from Four Seasons over there in Mandeville, right here on NRP Radio and NRP Media.
Four Seasons Sports and Equipment, the Sports Closet, now located at shop number 3, Leaders Plaza, Nashville, Mandeville, Manchester. Call them today at 876-613-7429. Cellular phone 876-363-8323 or 876-546-0630. Yes, you asked for it and now you got it. Four Seasons Sports and Equipment. Shop with us for a wide range of sporting goods and equipment. It's Four Seasons Sports and Equipment. Sports Closet, you'll never go asking for anymore.
It is now 6:47. You're tuned to the news and sports package right here on NRP Radio and NRP Media. This is Sports Now on NRP Radio, broadcasting on the platform nrpmediaja.com. We kick off on football. Furious Scotland head coach Steve Clarke has railed against the decisions not to award his side a penalty as they crashed out of the Euro 2024 in dramatic fashion. With just 10 minutes remaining against Hungary in Stuttgart, substitute Stuart Armstrong went to ground in the Hungarian box under pressure from Willie Orban. However, Argentine referee Facundo Tello waved play on, and VAR official Alejandro Hernandez opted not to intervene. The biggest point in the game is the penalty kick, says Clarke. Why is it not given? I need an answer. I need to know why that's not a penalty kick. And so they lost out on such an opportunity. On cricket, South Africa are through to the T20 World Cup semi-finals after a tense 3-wicket win on the Duckworth-Lewis Stern method over co-host West Indies in a winner-takes-all Super 8 matches. After England secured their place in the last four on Sunday, the game in Antigua was essentially a quarterfinal to decide the other side of progress that should progress from Group 2. Chasing a DLS revised target of 123, South Africa wobbled at times but ultimately withstood the pressure, and Marco Jansen thumped a 6 to seal the win with 5 balls to spare. Having restricted West Indies to 135 for 8, the Proteas appeared in control, but Andre Russell struck twice in the second over of the chase to leave them 15 for 2. The Windies' momentum was halted immediately, though, by a sudden downpour that kept the players off the field for 75 minutes. South Africa returned with a new target from 17 overs, and a flurry of boundaries quickly put them in the ascendancy. But with a raucous crowd at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium urging them on, the West Indies kept fighting with Ruston Chase, who made 52 with bat, taking 3 wickets. As the game headed towards a nervy conclusion, with South Africa needed 9 from 7 balls, Gagiso Rabada hit a glorious cover drive to 4, and Jansen finished the job at the start of the last over. Earlier, it was South African spinners who did the damage with the ball, with Tabrez Shamsi taking 3 for 28. The Proteas go through top of the group with England second and will face the runners-up in Group 1. It is still unclear with the semi-final either will play in until India's final position in Group 1 is confirmed, since Rohit Sharma's side will definitely play their last 4 match in Guyana Thursday. The other semi-final is in Trinidad, also on a Thursday. That's sports, brought to you courtesy of a Four Seasons Sports Closet and Equipment. They are located over there in Mandeville in Manchester, Jamaica. That's sports for the moment. You're tuned to NRP Radio and NRP Media. Of course, we are broadcasting under the platform nrpmediaja.com. We promise to bring you a good news story as often as we can. If you know of or are aware of any event or person whose good story we should highlight, please send this information to our email address at nationalreligiousmediaja@gmail.com. That's nationalreligiousmediaja@gmail.com, or call our WhatsApp, our number 876-336-9928. That's the local news and sports. Stand by now for the latest international news, courtesy of the Voice of America.
This is VOA News. I'm Tommy McNeil. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says the current phase of fighting against Hamas in Gaza is winding down. Details from VOA's Joe Ramsey.
Netanyahu says the stage could be set for Israel to send more troops to its northern border to confront the Lebanese militant group Hezbollah. The comments on Sunday threatened to further heighten the tensions between Israel and Hezbollah at a time when the two enemies appear to be moving closer to war. Netanyahu also signaled there is no end in sight for the grinding war in Gaza. The Iranian-backed Hezbollah began striking Israel almost immediately after Hamas's October 7th cross-border attack that triggered the Gaza war. Joe Ramsey, VOA News.
Witnesses say that at least 8 people were killed Sunday in Gaza City by an Israeli airstrike outside an aid center run by the UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees. VOA's Arash Arabasadi.
It was just one such mass fatality event in recent days near a humanitarian aid facility in the besieged Palestinian territories. At least 25 people were reported killed in a bombing near a Red Cross field hospital in Rafah. Head of the International Committee of the Red Cross Rafah office, William Schomburg.
We literally found body parts scattered.
The Israel Defense Forces released video claiming to show strikes on Hamas military structures in the Gaza Strip at around the same time. Arash Arabasadi, VOA News.
More than 1,300 people died during this year's Hajj pilgrimage as the faithful faced soaring temperatures at Islamic holy sites in Saudi Arabia. The Saudi health minister said 83% of the fatalities were among unauthorized pilgrims who walked long distances in soaring temperatures. Egyptian officials said more than 660 of the dead were from Egypt. Fatalities include pilgrims from Indonesia, India, dozens more from Jordan, Tunisia, Morocco, Algeria, and Malaysia. This is VOA News.
Thank you so much for listening there to the latest VOA News right here inside of the NRP Break of Day Newscast. Now for today's weather report and forecast brought to you by NRP Radio and NRP Media. And the National Meteorological Service of Jamaica is reporting that there is a significant feature of a trough across Jamaica. The trough is expected to remain across Jamaica over the next few days. It is expected that should be expected windy conditions, especially along the south coast, starting on Tuesday. In the 24-hour forecast this morning, expect partly cloudy conditions across the island. This afternoon to evening, expect isolated showers and thunderstorms mainly across the central and western parishes. Tonight, partly cloudy. In terms of the 3-day forecast, that is Tuesday through to Thursday. On Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, the conditions that the Met Service is reporting is that there will be partly cloudy conditions during the mornings, isolated showers and thunderstorms mainly across the central and western parishes. And there is a tropical wave approaching the eastern Caribbean. The maximum temperatures expected for Kingston and Montego Bay this morning: 34 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 33 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay. That's the latest weather report and forecast right here inside of the NRP Break of Day Newscast. With that, we've come to the end of our news presentation this morning. But before we go, here are the headlines once again. Shadow Minister for Gender Affairs, Denise Daly, says that the party is deeply disturbed by the recent revelations of a critical shortage of ventilators and inadequate healthcare resources in the public sector system. Senator Peter Bunting, the PNP's caretaker for South Manchester, calls for the immediate resignation of the board of the Southern Regional Health Authority, led by Wayne Chen, over what it says is the alarming increase in maternal mortality rates reported, especially in the South Central region. The government has unveiled 2 groundbreaking virtual platforms: the Diaspora Registration Portal, Connect Me JA, and the Jamaica Diaspora Engagement Model, JAMDEM, which aims to enhance diaspora engagement and connectivity globally. And 46-year-old Nicholas Rose, otherwise called Nick, of Duhaney Drive, Kingston 20, charged with attempted murder and arson following an incident in Swallow Road, Kingston 11, on Monday, June 17. And in sports, South Africa are through to the T20 World Cup semi-finals after a tense 3-wicket win on the Ducksworth-Lewis Stern method over co-host West Indies in a winner-takes-all Super 8s matches. That's news and sports and, of course, today's weather and international news of NRP Radio inside of the package. We call it the NRP Break of Day Newscast. On behalf of the entire news and production teams, I am Leon Nash for NRP News, inviting you to join us again this evening at 6:30 when we'll have more for you from the world of news, sports, and weather. Hey, we encourage you to join the growing medium by subscribing to our YouTube channel at NRP Media JA. That's NRP Media JA. Please go on over to our YouTube channel and subscribe and make us be able to reach others across the globe. Feel fulfilled and informed. Have a good rest of your morning. Leon Nash on the side saying good morning to you and have a wonderful rest of your day. Stand by now. Coming up is the program Let the Word Speak with Reverend Paul Blair. So coming up in another minute from now will be the program Let the Word Speak with Reverend Paul Blair on our radio platform, nrpmediaja.com. Please go on over now. We're going to be closing out from YouTube and Facebook now and handing you over to the radio platform, nrpmediaja.com. Radio listener, here is another opportunity to join the NRP family and stay for the fellowship in word, features, and music 24/7. Yes, every Tuesday night, Minister Richard Sutton, one of our newest connecting partner, will be right here on the NRP brand with gospel praise 9 to 10:30 p.m. and then rejoin us at 11 p.m. Tuesday nights to 1 a.m. Wednesday mornings. It will be 3.5 hours of word of encouragement, delving into the scripture with regular readings, prayer, and interaction with you listening on the World Wide Web. Yes, it's Gospel Expression Radio, located at Hempstead in the Nassau County of New York, teaming up with the National Religious Partnership Media and Radio, Tuesdays 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. Wednesday mornings. It's a partnership like never before, with NRP Radio reaching you where you are. No boundaries, no limitations. And the word of God in Luke 1:46 and 47 says, "My soul praises the Lord. My heart rejoices in God, my Savior." This is NRP Media and Radio. The time is 7 a.m.
I've had my share of life's ups and downs. Can't escape disappointment, can't avoid the delay, but I don't have to make feeling down and defeated the place that I stay. Gonna rise to the moment, gonna speak to the waves, gonna push back the doubt that keeps dragging me down when I can't find a way. Don't need to see it, I saw you to believe it. From my breakthrough, before you even move on, make a way. I was standing there.
Are you double-minded or single-minded? This is the question I have been asking all week long. With 4 eye-opening lessons completed, I know you are better able to answer this question. Let me now proceed by putting the final wrap on this quite intriguing discourse by positing to you how to transform yourself into being single minded by living a life of faith. My astute recipients of the word, at the new birth experience, when we accept Jesus